How's it going, everybody? My name is just Jared, but you guys can just call me Jared. Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. This time we're going to be talking about the Destiny 2 vision. IGN released a video with Bungie. They were talking about their vision for Destiny 2, the future for Destiny franchise, all that stuff, and that released a few days ago. So we're going to talk about what we saw in that video. There's a lot of news, a lot of information that we're going to actually talk about, so let's get right into it. So first off, Luke Smith said that with Destiny 2, they had two paths that they could take. They could take a kind of Taken King style expansion path where they just released expansions like the Taken King over and over and over again, and kind of continue Destiny that way, or to release a new game entirely, and that is obviously what they ended up doing with Destiny 2. Now there's tons of things they're trying to focus on in Destiny 2 that they want to stand out in this game that didn't stand out quite enough in Destiny 1. First up being the sense of progress, because many of you know, I know, in Destiny 1, throughout the 3 years, it was super hard to really tell if you were progressing at all. Your light level would go up 1, 2, 3, yes, but really progress was kind of confusing. In raids, all we knew was that there was this little tiny bit of story and we were just going in, killing a guy, killing the next guy, and then killing the boss. There wasn't really a humongous sense of progress, and that is something they are definitely trying to fix with Destiny 2, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. Also, story is a huge focus in Destiny 2, which we've seen throughout the trailers with Gaul, the Cabal, all this stuff, trying to make relatable characters and make people actually care about these characters and what is happening in the story, and that your light is missing and has been taken from you. So the story is a humongous focus. They're trying to build the Grimoire into the game as well. Grimoire cards are no longer a thing with Destiny 2. Grimoire will be fully built into Destiny 2. We don't know exactly how well it's going to be built in, because all the Grimoire cards, it's hard to imagine them all being built into Destiny 2, but we'll have to wait and see. One thing Mark Noseworthy did mention during this video is that finding exotic weapons and armor will actually tell you about the lore and the characters asphyxiated with that piece of gear, so that is a way that the Grimoire is being built in to the actual game. Now, in an actual recent IGN article, which I'll link in the description below along with this video that we're talking about here, they mentioned that while exploring Nessus, they were given a side quest from Failsafe. Failsafe is the character that we get to hear in the beginning of the Inverted Spire Strike, but they get a side quest from Failsafe to locate recordings left behind by early explorers. These recordings describe the struggles after a crash landing and give us a peek at the early struggles of humanity endured in Destiny as they ventured out into the unknown. So that is another way Grimoire and story and lore is being built into the game. Side quests that actually flesh out lore. That is great. I love Grimoires myself. I read them all back in year 2 of Destiny. I haven't caught up since, the whole year. I'm a year behind when it comes to Grimoire, but I loved reading it in the beginning. There's just so much now. Hopefully they can do a good job at building it into the game, so a lot of people who weren't into going off to Bungie.net and reading the actual Grimoire can get into the lore, because it is fantastic. Now, Mark also states that Destiny 2, just like Destiny 1, is huge, but it is ginormously in-depth. It is a huge in-depth game, and they're trying to make it more simple, more streamlined, and more understandable. Now, we've seen that with the weapons. There's not any more random rolls. We've seen that with the subclasses. The subclasses perks are more streamlined. They're not tons that you can choose from anymore. They're more simple, more laid out correctly, so people can kind of understand exactly what they're choosing and what they're doing. But they've also done this with something called their milestone mechanic. Now, milestones are how you track your main goals in Destiny. From the map, you can hit LT or R2 to see all of the available missions up for grabs and a clear outline of what you can expect for the completion of them. They're just trying to make the game more clear, to make progress more understandable, all that stuff, so that's really good to see. New milestone mechanic, we'll have to wait and see exactly how that plays out when Destiny 2 launches, but it sounds like it's going to be a step forward when it comes to progress and understanding what exactly is happening. Now another way Destiny 2 is simpler than Destiny 1 is the new map. So every planet, every location has its own map that you can open up on the fly, and if you see an activity on the map, it means you have not completed it yet. So it's like a whack-a-mole system where you do one, it disappears, and you get them all done when you want to get them done. So you know where everything is, and you know when everything takes place. Public events actually have a timer on them, so you know when they'll happen, so they're actually public events, so people will swarm to them rather than you just happening across them randomly and a few guardians being there maybe. Each activity tells you what it is, gives you a description, and actually tells you what you will get upon completion. They have a new engram logo, which looks really cool, really neat, kind of a 3D instead of the flat square that we got in Destiny 1. Now in this video we got a look at a treasure map. I'm going to read this for you now. Nessus treasure map, Arcadian Valley. It was like I was being called closer, like something wanted my help. Then I get to this tower with a triangular doorway and go through. That's when it got really weird. Cade 6. So I'm kind of thinking treasure maps are going to be kind of puzzly, so you have to find the treasure map, get to the location, and then maybe there'll be some puzzles or some really neat locations where the treasure hidden is, and that's going to be really awesome. So I can't really wait to get in and look for treasure maps. Finding secrets in games is one of my just all-time favorite things to do, so I can't wait for this especially. Now we also get a look at new icons on the map that we haven't seen before, and these are these little triangle, upside down triangle icons, and what I think these are landing zones. We know at each planet there are multiple landing zones because the worlds are just so large, so you don't have to land at one place and walk all the way or ride on your Sparrow all the way somewhere. So there's multiple landing zones, and this I think gives us kind of a sense at really how big these places are. Right in this section we get to see 3 or 4 landing zones, so it's just awesome to see that, you know, these places are going to be that big or, you know, that complicated as far as where you can go and the secrets you can find. Now we also get a look at an adventure called Release. Now it says, The Tangle, Arcadian Valley. The Vex appear to be capturing the Fallen, and Failsafe wants it stopped. Once again, Failsafe coming into play. It says combatant power, light level 90. We still don't really know when it comes to light level what they're going to do. Bungie is still kind of breaking down themselves exactly how they want to do the progression as far as level and light level. I don't think they have it 100% yet. So we don't really know much about light level, but it shows there your reward is rare gear, things like that. Now another mechanic that Luke Smith hinted at just for a second is something called Loadout Locked. He said certain activities will actually lock your loadout, so you can't change anything mid-mission, whether that be a strike, a raid, a nightfall, etc. So that's crazy. That's a totally new thing to definitely ramp up the difficulty. I, for one, am all for that. That sounds really cool. You have to go in with your team, actually talk about what you're going to be equipping as far as weapons go, which is a thing I often ask my team that I'm with, you know, what are you guys rocking? Because I'm just curious as far as what people are using as far as guns go, because I love trying out new guns in Destiny right now. Now that I've tried out mostly everything there is to try out, it's kind of hard, that's why I can't wait for Destiny 2, but this is definitely a cool mechanic that I can't wait to really get into. Maybe it'll be a modifier or something like that, maybe we'll get better rewards if we do it with a loadout lock on, so who knows, but it sounds really cool to me. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments. I know some people are kind of iffy on it, because the way that they did the weapons this time, where you have kinetic and whatever, kinetic energy and power, they did that so it makes you have more freedom, but now they're kind of taking the freedom away by locking the loadout. So who knows? We'll see what happens, but let me know what you guys think of that in the comments down below. Now one last thing we got to see are ships, right? There's some new ships here. Now each one of these ships is exactly the same as far as design goes. Now the one thing I want to talk about is the fact that yes, they are the same as design, which we've seen in Destiny 1, we've seen reskins all the time, but could this be pointing at something different? Could this be shaders for ships? Could you be able to change the color of your ships finally to add another level of customization? They did say a while back that customization is something they're trying to expand upon, so hopefully that's what it is. We have like a white one, a green and gray, a white and green, a blue and white. So unless there's tons and tons of different colors of one ship, which I feel like would get tiring if they just keep doing that over and over again, I'm pretty much at a point where I think we'll be able to choose the color of our ships, which is just fantastic, you know. Who doesn't like more customization? But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's a lot to talk about. There's just so much news. Hopefully I covered everything. I pretty much think I hit the nail on the head in this video, got everything talked about. Let me know if I missed anything down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up for me, subscribe for more Destiny 2 news and coverage all the time. My name has been Just Jared. I hope you guys all have a fantastically amazing day. Until next time, peace out.